No music off the top. We're getting straight to it. One-man band style as usual. What's up, everybody? It's Tony. Welcome to Sunday Night Live presented by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka. Please enjoy responsibly. Smirnoff, we appreciate everything that they do for us. First off, what's up to everybody in the chat? What's up to everybody watching wherever you're watching us, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all the platforms. We love that you're spending a little piece of your Sunday night here with us, well, with me. Like we're just kicking it, me, you, whoever's there with us. Oh wow, okay. They're telling me we're having trouble streaming to Twitch. This may be an issue on Twitch's end. Okay, no biggie. So for our Twitch watchers that you're not watching right now, hop over to YouTube, hop over to Twitter, and you can experience the same thing. Twitch family, I'm sorry that you will not be getting Sunday Night Live right now. I have nobody on the back end to figure it out. No biggie. We'll continue to roll. A fun week of the NFL, week 9. Had some, on paper, some games that were kind of suspect. Some games delivered. We had a bunch of good moments, a bunch of really cool plays throughout the slate of games. I want to start as I pull up here really quick. Rams and Seahawks are still going on. We got about 1:15 left in the fourth quarter of the Rams and Seahawks games. Seahawks driving at about midfield right now, 2nd and 10 from what I'm watching. So, game of the day, Lions and Packers, 6-1 versus 6-2. Rainy day in Green Bay. This is the first time, amazingly, in week 9 that the Lions have played outdoors. Every other game has been indoors so far. And the Lions continue to just be an offensive juggernaut. Defensively, missing their best pass rusher, one of the best pass rushers in the league. Didn't really matter. Defensively, they were able to do a lot of stuff to disturb Jordan Love, who, as we know, was injured going into the game. It was going to be a surprise that he was going to play. He ended up playing in a rainy day, but basically held him to outside of a couple of McManus field goals. Fourth quarter, late, they scored a touchdown. That Lions team, and I feel like we talk about it week in and week out, right? It's, man, their offense is so good. Man, the defense can hold up. If they can continue to be healthy, they're going to be a very good team into possibly a Super Bowl team, depending on how the NFC shakes out. And we've got at least a little bit of some insight on the NFC North where, all right, that was the best division of football. Now we have the Lions doing what they did to the Packers, abusing them, getting whatever they wanted through the air. I saw on the game that between Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's had 30 straight completions. They've connected on 30 straight completions when Jared Goff is targeting Amon-Ra St. Brown, which is insane. It feels like Jared Goff just doesn't throw incompletions anymore. He's just super efficient every time he touches the ball. There was another stat, and I'm trying to do the math in my head because I think he went 18 for 22. I think through the last 7 games, they had 27 touchdowns. I'm doing the math on the fly. If you can correct me here in the chat, let me know. 27 touchdowns to 24 incompletions, which is not even Patrick Mahomes does that, right? Not even Tom Brady of back in the day, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, who name your favorite guy. Nobody's been doing what Jared Goff and the Lions have been doing on offense. It's insane. Oh, we're getting some JSN sheesh in the chats. Does that mean? Oh, wow. Okay, so we're about to have a tie game. We have a tie game. Seattle and the Rams. Jackson Smith-Njigba breakout game. He's got 6 for 149 and 2 scores. They just scored now with basically under a minute left. Wow. Okay. That's back-to-back weeks where we have guys coming back. Last week it was the Hail Mary with Jaden Daniels. This week, late game heroics from Geno Smith. Let's see if the old dog has one more in him. Let's see if Matthew Stafford can take the team down and at least get a field goal. They still got one timeout left, about 50 seconds. So they're going to have to play some hurry up there. But getting back to what we saw today, Lions looked awesome. They continue to roll. The other buzzsaw team that we had on the list a couple weeks ago, Ravens 5-3, playing a sneaky Denver Broncos team, also 5-3, and we exactly what we thought was going to happen happened. Right, the Ravens are, again, I don't want to say the most balanced team because the Lions are also extremely balanced, but the two-headed attack of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, what they're able to do on offense is insane. And another hyper-efficient outing for Lamar Jackson. I think he finished with a perfect passer rating, 158.3. He just continues to be the best player on any field he steps on, right? And it was, he can't play from behind. He can't throw. And they've really shored up that offense to allow him to do kind of anything, right? The RPO game, like we've talked about in weeks past. Now Deontay Johnson enters the fray as a great wide receiver 2, maybe 1A, 1B, if he can get the looks and understand the scheme and the plays kind of getting thrown into the middle of the season. Zay Flowers continues to be awesome. Derrick Henry just walks on the field, rolls the ball out, ties his cleats, and says, all right, I'm going for 102 scores. We are looking at two powerhouse teams, and we still kind of have the Chiefs hidden away at 7-0, an undefeated Chiefs team that we'll see Monday night. We'll have these two teams kind of fighting for supremacy, not only the AFC being Baltimore and Kansas City, and we've already kind of seen what that game was. I think, and I'm just trying to do the math here. We can have because they won outright. So it would have, I mean, if Kansas City continues to have that better record than Baltimore, which they have a 3-game lead on at the moment, just in the loss column, we would see Baltimore go to Kansas City and Lamar try to knock off Mahomes in Kansas City, which would be insane. But the Ravens did what the Ravens do. Buzzsaw teams. And the Broncos defense, one of the better, I would say top 5 defenses in the league. Didn't really matter. Put up 41 points. Could have had more. Just a normal day. Bo Nix caught a touchdown pass. Like, I don't know what's happening. The NFL is crazy right now. The Panthers won, guys. Like, this week in the NFL had 2 1-win teams win. We had Dak say we effing suck on the sidelines. And Jameis, like there's a lot to get to. There's a lot to get to. So we'll do kind of a rapid fire, and then we'll get to some questions in the chat in a little bit. But I'm also keeping tabs on this Rams Seahawks game. We're looking at 2nd and 2 at midfield with 46 seconds left. All right, now that we got the Lions and the Ravens game out of the way, Bills win 30-27 over the Dolphins. Dolphins actually look somewhat competent. Devon Achane came in, was a big part of their offense in screen games, was able to get a lot of stuff on the ground. Mostert, outside of the fumble, starting to get back on track. Tyreek Hill, we didn't have a Tyreek game, but I was impressed by Tua's ability to get those open reads, get the ball out of his hands fast, scramble for first downs when needed. He had that 1 third down play to Jalen Waddle, I think was his first catch of the day, which was a dime towards the boundary and the sidelines that got him for first down, and then scoring that touchdown late. Look, the Dolphins had a big caveat, and they have a big asterisk on this season, which is if your quarterback the whole narrative for the Dolphins beginning of the season was if Tua can stay healthy, this team could be good, right? And we saw that last year. The team offensively was good, struggled playing cold games, struggled playing playoff games. They didn't really have that much of a running game when they needed to late in the season. Devon Achane comes out, has another year under his belt. He gets hurt, concussion. Tua gets hurt, concussion. And we're out. We're looking at the media, the industry landscape is looking around saying, man, like I see it, right? Like you got to almost like go like this to the mirror and be like, I see something there. The team is good. They just have costly mistakes, costly penalties. And it was just one of those games where between the Bills and the Dolphins, it felt like whoever was going to have the ball last was going to end up winning the game. And credit to Tyler Bass, who kicked a 61-yard field goal, hit an absolute bomb as time expired, and the game slipped out of their hands. Miami at 2-6 now. 2-6. Jeez. All right, a lot of people in the chat saying out of focus. Here, let me move up so I can be a little bit more in focus. There we go. Is that better? All right. Let's stay in this. I'm not watching the game. And I may be crazy. Did the Rams punt the ball? There's no way, right? Can somebody in the chat say, tell me if the Rams punted the ball? That can't be true. That can't be true. What? I mean, oof. Playing for OT, I get it, but 4th and 2, I mean, damn. Okay. All right, we continue. Playing for OT, never like that. Never like that. Let's get to some fun stuff. From the great game that Jameis had last week, where we were like, oh my God, there it is. There's the Jameis that we all know and love. To now this week, oh, there's the Jameis we all know and love, throwing 3 picks and absolutely killing his team's chances for victory. You know what you're going to get with Jameis. He's going to be fun one week. He's going to throw touchdowns one week. The next week, he's going to throw back-breaking interceptions that are going to be very ill-timed and mostly in the red zone like they were today. Geno had a bunch of those, by the way. Geno obviously had the Cam Kitchens return 103 yards for a touchdown and then threw another pick, I think, to Cam Kitchens too in the red zone. But Chargers starting to find their groove a little bit. Chargers starting to find it. Quentin Johnson came back, scored a long touchdown. Chargers quietly at 5-3. Quietly at 5-3. Right? I know that there was Herbert had, was it plantar fasciitis in the beginning of the season, and then he had an ankle sprain. So he's starting to like get back into the groove of the things. J.K. Dobbins running well. Their offense is interesting because they don't have that alpha playmaker, right? J.K. Dobbins, not that guy. Quentin Johnston, young, missing that explosive alpha number one consistency, I would say. They have guys like Josh Palmer. Ladd McConkey's good. Is he wide receiver 1 good? He's a good young player, but quietly Jim Harbaugh, the fighting Jim Harbaugh's at 5-3, man. Like they could be sniffing around in that division. Saints and Panthers, scary moment today when we saw Chris Olave get carted off of the field with another concussion, knocked unconscious, what it seems like. We won't speculate. He was taken to the hospital, was discharged and able to leave with the team. But I think the best part of that game, outside of some semblance of life from Bryce Young, and we've heard, I think Diana Rossini reported that there was a couple of teams, of more than two, to reach out about Bryce Young, which I thought was interesting. I think there's somebody out there that's like, huh, okay. Like there's something about Bryce Young that we can fix. I think the most interesting part of what was happening was outside of the game, off the field, where Michael Thomas was basically just going after Derek Carr, saying that's your trash, saying that's why all the coaches are trying to have your back throughout the season. Everybody knows the truth. It feels a bit, how are you hating when you're standing outside the club kind of deal. But we've known who Derek Carr is, right? He's going to throw a good bit of hospital balls. And he did that to Chris Olave, who has already had some concussion issues and scares this year. But Michael Thomas was just absolutely toasting him. And then on top of that, you lose to arguably the worst team in the entire league. And I want to check something out really quick because I saw something on Twitter and I want to see if this is true. Yeah. The Saints just quit. Just quit on DA. Have just absolutely quit. And you think when they started the season, it was, oh, wow, the Saints team offensively, juggernaut. They've got pieces. They've got everything, right? And then all of a sudden, the bottom has completely fallen out. Hold on, let me, I'm doing everything today, so let me block this this bot in the chat. Kamara is the lone bright spot, but if you look across what the Saints have offensively, they don't have anybody, man. They have nobody. They have nobody outside of Kamara. They have Taysom Hill, sure, which is good, but they just got nobody. And they've lost 7 straight games. They beat the Panthers 47-10 to start the season. They swamped the Cowboys 44-19. How bad of a loss does that look for Dallas? Whew, we'll get to Dallas in a second, but how bad does that look? Hold on, let me mute this. Yeah, ban this bot. Here we go. They've lost 7 straight games after going 2-0. They need to go in a completely different direction. They need to bottom out. They need to go get a playmaker, a quarterback, get their guys healthy. I thought Rashid Shaheed was a nice piece. He was basically out for the season with the meniscus repair. Chris Olave, we don't know what we're going to see or what's going to happen with Chris Olave going forward. Sad, but that's the NFL, you know. His brother was going after Derek Carr too. It's just getting ugly quick in New Orleans. This one will be quick because Burrow just dominated. Bengals win 41-24 over the Raiders. Raiders are another team dead in the water. We've known this kind of since the beginning of the season. Kind of a lame duck head coach, lame duck quarterback. They don't really have anybody of note. Traded their one best player. It's kind of a forgotten season for the Raiders. Bengals, Joe Burrow. I mean, guys, Joe Burrow's playing at a super high level. I want to see if I can get his stats really quick. Burrow through 8 games has basically 2,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 3 picks. Whew. Burrow is playing very well, and that's with not really a sound running game, right? You get Zach Moss, 242 yards, Chase Brown, who we like, at about 360 yards, and basically without T. Higgins, who's played 5 games out of a possible 8 games, right? And Joe Burrow's doing it with Mike Gesicki, with Eric All Jr., who ended up leaving the game, with Andre Yoshivas, who we like, but like he's not a transcendent guy. He's not a guy who's going to be super special. And Joe just continues to get it done. 4-5. Bengals almost back at 500. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the Bengals, who they got going forward. Ooh, big one. This Thursday night, ladies and gentlemen of the chat, I implore you. Thursday night football is a banger this week. Bengals at Ravens. Thursday, November 7th, just 4 days from now. Bengals at Ravens in a big matchup. That could be a big statement game for either team. The rare double statement game. Where if the Bengals go out and beat the Ravens, it's like, Bengals are back, baby. And if the Ravens take care of business, it goes to show you where they're trending. All right. Commies take care of the Giants 27-22. I feel good for Daniel Jones, who finally scored a touchdown at MetLife for the first time in, what was it, like 600 and some odd days or something insane. A normal game from Jaden Daniels, not really heavy lifting, 15 of 22, 209, and 2 scores. Just kind of a normal day. Commies first time 7-2, the Washington franchise, first time they're 7-2 since 1996. And I told you this, guys, the people in the chat, we've got about 2,000 some odd people listening. If you've been sticking with us through the last 9 weeks of Sunday Night Live, which you have, and I appreciate it. Thank you. You heard me tell you that Jaden Daniels, there was a possibility of Jaden Daniels being not only the Rookie of the Year, but also the MVP. Anytime you've heard that outside of it, you know exactly. Oh, see, this is funny. Hold on. Where is this guy? Benjir says 2K equals 466. Yeah, but what you're not seeing is what I'm seeing up here, which is we've got 1863 now on Twitter. We've got 483 on YouTube, 30 on Twitch. So it is actually about 2378 if you want to do the math. But again, you don't have those stats. I do. So thank you. Anyways, Jaden Daniels could be right now leading. If he's not leading the MVP race right now, but he is on the outside looking in, and he's close enough where they continue to win. He continues to play well. He's going to continue to climb in those rankings. And it's going to be very fun. Ooh, spammer back in the chat. Hold on, team. We're all doing it together, baby. Come on. Here we go. Bandit user. Okay. Here we go. All right. Falcons 27, Cowboys 21. It's over. It's over. It's over in Dallas. There is nothing that Dallas can do from anything, be it offensively, defensively, coaching, front office. There's nothing that they can do to turn this season around. It's over. When you look at, they're 3-5 right now. When you look at who they've got coming up, you're looking at the Eagles, who they play next week. Then they play the Texans, the Commanders, the Giants, the Bengals, the Panthers, Bucks, Eagles, Commanders again. This is, damn, another spammer. Sheesh. This was the fear, I think, of all Cowboys fans, right? Which was, we know they're not good enough to compete with some of the high-level teams in the NFC. We know that. But they didn't think it was going to be this bad. Cowboys fans were like, the running game, offensive line, Dak got paid, CD got paid. Defense had looked good at times in the prior year. Now it's dunzo. McCarthy's got to go. Dak is good enough to get you to the playoffs and build around CD's. Again, a great receiver. They got to get a running game. They got to get a new head coach. They got to defensively. They got to get better. I know they've got pieces to build around, Micah Parsons, but That D-line isn't as good as it used to be. Their secondary isn't as good as it used to be. Nothing in Dallas is as good as it used to be. This guy, hold on, let me see. What is happening? Tony's making sounds and picking bugs. Got to scratch my nose? Jeez. All right, let's see. Rams. I got a lot of Rams in the chat. What happened? Oh, game over. Let's see. Demarcus Robinson pass from Matthew Stafford, 39-yarder, game over. Walk-off in Seattle. Rams win 26-20 in OT. Rams still alive. I need that good nose hair trimmer. I think it's the mustache. Got to make sure my mustache is down. Rams walk-off. The Puka Nacua punch, by the way. What are we doing? Come on. All right. Quickly, Titans beat the Patriots. Drake May showed some guts today. Tony Pollard was awesome. Drake May threw that last interception in overtime. Just had to get it out. That team really doesn't have anything. But Drake May showing me some guts. Cardinals beat the Bears by 20. Offense for the Bears just looks stagnant. And the Cardinals are not a good defensive team. So I'm a little worried about that. I think whoever the next coach of the Bears is going to need to work on that offense because they have the pieces. I just don't think they're executing at a high level. And I know Caleb's young. I get that. But there's a lot of young quarterbacks doing a lot of good stuff. And the Bears season is about to get much harder when you look at their next couple of games. They have a whatever game against the Patriots, but then they play the Packers, Vikings, Lions, Niners, Vikings, Lions, Seahawks, Packers. So a very tough stretch for the Monsters of the Midway over in Chi-Town. That 4-4 record could be a lot different heading into November and December. Eagles back, by the way. Eagles back in a big way. A.J. Brown got hurt today. They're thinking it's a knee injury. I've heard some doctors on Instagram and Twitter say it may be an MCL injury. Depending on the severity of it, we don't know. Saquon Barkley. I mean, what can we say about maybe the best athlete in the NFL who week in and week out continues to do amazing plays and just continues to be incredible? Because what I saw from Saquon Barkley, that reverse hurdle, like I thought people were playing it in reverse because I was looking down on my phone and then Scott Hansen broke to it. And then I was looking, I was like, wait, did they like kind of scrub it backwards? Oh, no. He juked and then saw the guy and then jumped backwards over a dude's head. What? I'm watching it here now. Dude, it's insane. And on top of that, he's being super productive. 27 carries, 159 yards, and a touchdown, and was almost their leading receiver too. Outside of a couple Devontae Smith long catches and that one catch for a touchdown one-handed, which was insane. He had 3 catches for 40 yards. I want to see what his stats are because he's been unreal this season. All right, so through 8 games, he's got 760 yards, 5 touchdowns, and he's on pace for 1,800 yards and 12 touchdowns. Damn, that is a really good season Saquon Barkley is going to be having. And I think Anthony Ortiz says they're beating up on bad teams. Eagles definitely not back. Jaguars, Bengals. You call Bengals a bad team? Bad defense, sure. Bad team? I don't know. Giants, Browns, Bucks, they lost to, beat the Saints. Look, we'll see if the Eagles are back because they play Cowboys coming up, then they play the Commies, Rams, Ravens. That's a good 4-game stretch there to see if the Eagles have righted the ship or they're still a little scary. Let's see. We just saw the Rams beat the Seahawks 26-20. Outside of that, a lot of kind of, there were some games that were close this week. A lot of the bad games were close between bad teams. And the good games were a little bit more of some blowouts between the Lions and Packers and the Ravens and Broncos. Tonight we got Colts Vikings, which is kicking off in about 15 minutes or so. And then we got a good one Monday night, Chiefs at Bucks. So just another good week of the NFL. Let's get some questions. Let's do like 5 to 10 minutes here of Q&A in the chat. So chat, let's throw up some questions. We'll do a quick Q&A for about 10 minutes or so. Let's see. Goff, Army offense of the NFL. Sam Darnold, is he for real? He's been playing amazing, flat out. Like, he's been playing really good football. I know they lost to the Rams Thursday night of a week and a half ago or whatever it was, but he's doing everything that Kevin O'Connell's asking him to do. Throw to the best receiver in football. Very simple. Don't make mistakes and get the ball to your hands quick. Boom, he's doing it. What about Will Levis? Jay Farrell says, what about Will Levis? Cooked. We know it. SBO says, should Dolphin fans feel good about today? Absolutely. You saw your offense put up 27 points. You saw Tua go, I think off the top of my head, let's see. I want to see the box score here. 25 of 28. He 3 passes were incomplete the entire day. 231. Average was 8.3. Like, yeah, your top receivers, Jalen Waddle went 2 catches, -4 yards. Not great. Tyreek had a normal 4 for 80 game, but I would be very impressed and I would feel good about the game, even though it was a loss. You played the Bills tough as hell, and it's going to be a tough season, but there's a lot of winnable games, and maybe you can sneak into a wild card playoff spot if you start really putting boots to asses and start winning some games. So I would feel good about today. Jared Goff MVP. Christian Young wants to know. Lamar is probably the MVP right now. Trying to think of who else. I mean, Goff is close, man. Goff is close. I would say I'd say Lamar. I'd say Josh Allen. I'd say Patrick Mahomes. I'd say Jaden Daniels and Jared Goff. Next big trade you expect this week? That's a good one. I know Mark Davis came out and said we're not trading Max Crosby. I know he said that. If there is a halt, because the Raiders are in a very bad spot. Raiders are not have no bright spots whatsoever on that roster. If there's a haul big enough for a team that is willing to forego future to win now, and they go out and make an offer that the Raiders can't refuse for Max Crosby, I would be very interested in that. Very interested. Outside of other big trades, let's see. Would you call Bryce Young trade a big trade? It'd be a big name leaving to go to another team. But again, it wouldn't be a starter. I'm trying to think of people who need receiver help. Deontay Johnson trade already happened. I would say I'm not expecting it, but the trade that I would like to see would be if Max Crosby could get to a contender. That'd be fun. Are the Commanders for real? Meek says, yeah, 7-2. Very good offense. doing it with guys who are okay, right? Eckler, nobody wanted him. Kami signed him. B-Rob was hurt today. He had a good game. Noah Brown bounced around a couple teams. He's been playing good ball. Terry McLaurin finally getting a quarterback that can do the things that he needs to be a very good wide receiver. The back shoulder throw today was awesome from Jaden Daniels for a touchdown. Like, they can't. Commies are real. I think defensively they need to shore up a little bit of what they're doing, but they could get good pressure on the defensive line. Like, they're a good team, man. Tony, will you keep this show going when you're on paternity, or is the season over at that point? No, I will continue to do Sunday Night Live. My daughter is scheduled to be born at the end of December. I will continue to do Sunday Night Live throughout the entirety of the NFL season, all the way up to the Super Bowl. So we will continue with Sunday Night Live no matter what. Presented by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka. Please drink responsibly. Let's see. Niners making the playoffs. Juan Dominguez wants to know. Yeah, Niners going to make the playoffs. They're still a good team. Brock Purdy still a very good quarterback. And some of the bottom teams in the NFC, the Niners are better than them, and they're going to find a way to get in. Let's see. Rex says John Jones going to hit Steve with the 12-6. Possibly. Big MMA hangout coming out November 16th, by the way. Tony, does Greg cite your armpit hair? Does Greg Cody like your armpit hair? Think he's jealous? I think he's got enough armpit hair. I don't think he's jealous of mine. Is it time for the Dolphins to put on APB for their damn defense? Yeah. Javon Holland was out today again too, so that doesn't help. I know he's a big part of that secondary, but Ramsey had a pick, stole away a touchdown from Keon Coleman. Defensively, they need to get pressure, man. They're not getting any pressure on quarterbacks. And when you don't get pressure, that forces your linebackers and safeties and corners to work way harder than they need to. Because NFL quarterbacks will put the ball where nobody can catch it except the receiver. So yeah, it's going to be tough if you can't get eyes on the quarterback. Let's see. Where's Bo Nix on this tier list this week? Bo Nix, jury's still out because I'd like to see him do it with the #1 and see what we have. But through these first 9 games now, I've been very impressed with Bo Nix. Like, the whole reason why they got him is because he was a older rookie, a guy that was going to be able to start and be the face of a franchise from day one. He didn't need time to sit back and learn under somebody else. And Sean Payton's getting the best out of him right now. Let's get down to some of these comments. Which QB would you draft? If you're a kicker and can't make a 60-yarder, should be employed. I mean, there's a lot of good kickers out there that can kick 60 yarders, but it's very difficult. All right, we got the game kicking off in about a couple minutes here. What's with a good question here? What's with all the injuries this season? It feels like more key players are getting hurt. Yeah, it does. It feels like year in and year out, a lot of the best players in the league are continually getting hurt. And we've had A.J. Brown, a couple injuries this season. We've had, you name it. Puka Nacua was out. Cooper Kupp was out. Tyreek's been hurt. CeeDee Lamb just got hurt with a shoulder injury. Dak was with a hamstring injury, quote unquote. A.J. Brown's been out. If I already mentioned him. Love. NFL is brutal. Football is brutal. Like, it just sucks when the guys getting hurt are not the other guys, right? The fodder that are not the star players, that the NFL seems to churn those guys out in and out of the league, which is tough because they're kind of the backbone of the NFL. But yeah, when I'm sure it's a big issue for the NFL when star players are continually getting hurt. Lloyd T, you're not a Dolphins fan, so what's your team? I'm a man of the Shield, Lloyd. I'm a man of the Shield. I just love ball, no matter what. Let's see. Oh, DK Metcalf, another guy hurt. Diggs got hurt. Wow. Derek Carr out there throwing hospital balls, Flip Johnson says. Yep. As we talked about, a guy who throws hospital balls. That's why a lot of former receivers are not okay with that. Adam Jamison, the boy, is Mike McDaniel okay? Would you be okay if your team went from the best offense in the league last year to a sputtering offense this year that is basically out of the playoff hunt unless they go on a complete tear for the rest of the season? Like, oof, tough. I don't have a team. A dude whose team is under 500, Kobe Bryant. I'm not a Dolphins fan. I'm not a Dolphins fan. I used to be a Patriots fan. I was a fan of Tom Brady, but after that, and I started doing content more regularly, I was a bit jaded by the industry, and now only thinking content, which is sad because I don't have the allegiance to a NFL team anymore. I'm just always in the content making mode, Kobe Bryant. So, Tony content, baby. What happened to the Jags? The Jags were it was a fun storyline. It was, again, content thinking. There was, at that point in the season, the Jags were playing better than their record indicated. And I saw that and went hard on that during the season and ended up being right where they won a playoff game. So, then I was on the Texans and I was on this and I was on that. That's the thing about content. You always got to pick a couple teams, see the vision, and then go full steam ahead. I'm giving you a little bit of the sauce, a little bit of the magic. Ryan, Lions best team in football. I would say them right now, yeah. Right now, yeah. I think offensively, they're doing things better than Mahomes and the Chiefs are. And I know Charles McDonald last week told you guys they're okay. They're just winning in a different way. To me, when you can win at that clip and then also be exciting, that to me, I'm going to always put you ahead than a team that's kind of muttering and trying to figure out exactly what it is that they're doing offensively. All right, another bot in the chat. Guys, we are basically done. Does Sirianni need to get fired? Marcellus? No. I think he saved his job at the moment. I think he's good right now. I think the Cyclones can make a playoff push in battle court, 1.5 points out of the final playoff spot. Fan LeBatard Show. I'm a Wall Warriors man. So maybe the Clones can do it, but I'm a Wall Warriors guy. Thank you, Lloyd. 10-day man of the shield. That's right. Never forget it. Busta's 10 life. Jeremiah, game for your life though. Mahomes or Lions? No, Mahomes. Come on. Game for my life, it's different. Game for my life, it's totally different. Hberg 25, give us a Tony's top 5 preview. I have to sit back and figure out exactly what that's going to be. I can't give it to you right off the top here, but stick around this week. We have a Tony's top 5 at some point this week. All right, guys. That'll do it. We are about to kick off over in, where's the game this week? Is it in Indy or is it in Minnesota? Wherever the game is, Sunday Night Football, Indy versus Minnesota, in a game that was supposed to be Anthony Richardson versus JJ McCarthy. It is now Joe Flacco versus Sam Darnold, just like we drew it up, baby. Big week on the show this week. We'll have a couple of Greg Cody appearances on the week. Amin will be in town. This is kind of the preview for the week for you guys that are watching. Amin will be in town. He'll do stuff on the back end of the week. Greg Cody will be in town. Izzy will be on the show. I will not be on the show until Thursday. We may get a Tony's Top 5 Tuesday or Wednesday, with the election, with all the stuff going on around that. we'll try to squeeze in some fun and some lightheartedness and some football mostly. So just stick around. Fun week of shows for the LeBatard Network. We love you guys, and we'll see you guys on the other side. Week 10, Sunday Night Live, coming through next week, Sunday, same time, same place, presented by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka. We love you guys. Peace. I'll see you guys.